Good morning, buddy. You ready to go out and do some walking? You don't look too ready today. Still snoozing. Alright, I'll be downstairs getting my coffee, getting ready to go. You come down when you're ready, okay, buddy? We got to get going here shortly. Still laying in the same spot, buddy. We got to get going. We got to get going. It's time to film Sundays with Nugget. We don't let anybody down. Come on, let's go. This is one of the issues with a golden retriever. It's not a bad one, but they operate on their own schedule and have a mind of their own. I still love you so much, buddy. Let's get going. Come on. Y'all loaded up, ready to go? Looking real patriotic there in your red, white, and blue for 4th of July weekend, buddy. All right, let's get going before it gets too hot out. Welcome back to Sundays with Nugget. Hope y'all are having a great day. Hope y'all had a great week. And those of you in America, hopefully y'all are having a great 4th of July weekend. Excuse me. We are headed out for our walk this morning, just like we always do. And today we're going to talk about how I got Jasper. Jasper the Golden Nugget. There was a time before him. And Gary, if you're watching, buddy, I apologize. A couple weeks ago, y'all, we were supposed to talk about how Jasper came into my life, and somehow I forgot. Not really, I didn't forget. I just got to talking about other things. But that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to try to stay laser focused on how I got him, how he came into my life, and what it was like at first with him. This should be a good one, y'all. It really should be. I got to recollect back on and thinking, 4 years ago. Like I say, it's going to be a fun one. Stick around, find out where this episode leads. I promise you, Gary, we're going to get through this one, buddy. And I apologize, I let you down. I probably let a bunch of people down. But as I said in previous episodes, my brain is as scattered as it comes. And, it just floats around from subject to subject. And a lot of folks call me crazy. I just say that's who I am. Anyhow, we're going to get on the trail here. Hopefully we see some cool stuff. And like I said, we're going to talk about 4 years ago when I got Jasper. And we'll try to have some fun while we do it. So grab your coffee. Come along with us for the ride, or the walk, actually. And this should be a fun one, y'all. See you on the trail. What's there, fish out there? Water, buddy. All right, y'all. Just want to apologize before somebody comes in the comments about the sound quality today. I had a little mic mishap this morning. Y'all didn't see that. You saw Nugget sleeping. But yeah, the old microphone, I'm not the most technological advanced person in the world. So I just said the heck with it, and I'm going to come out here and do the best we can with what we got to work with, because it wasn't working properly. So that's my apology for the day. We'll talk more in a minute. All right, buddy, got our miles in. You got your water, got your snack, and we're going to head back to the house, and we're going to talk about how you came into my life. Hopefully my microphone will get working then too. You ready to go? It's a good walk, buddy. You're a good boy. All right, y'all, we are done with our walk. Got some good footage in there for y'all. I know y'all gonna ask why we don't let them swim right now. There's been an algae bloom in the lake where we walk at every day. We actually hit a bunch of trails. It's a whole trail system. I think there's roughly like 200 miles of trails. It's mainly a mountain bike area on the backside of the lake, literally up the road from right where we live at. It's a beautiful park, as y'all can see from the videos and some of the other videos, but we usually try to do a different trail every day. But as far as him swimming, he would normally swim back there, and right now with the heat, and we had an algae bloom in the lake, so it concerns me. It's up in another area of the lake, but it really concerns me to have him going in there, and even I stopped him from drinking the water. But hope y'all enjoyed that segment there. That's the funnest part for us. He loves to get out there and walk, and we see the animals, and we saw one of our friends today. She actually she slipped in the mud. I don't know if I'll put that in the video, but she just got back from Florida, so we haven't seen her for a couple weeks, and her pups, and she was in Florida with her family having fun down there, and sounded like they had a good trip. Anyhow, we're going to head to the car wash, get Nugget's vehicle washed. This is actually his vehicle. I only drive it with him in it, and he lets me drive it from time to time. But we're going to get his vehicle washed, get some gasoline, bring y'all along for the ride, and then I'm going to get into the story for y'all of how Nugget came into my life. And it's going to start out a little sad, but we'll get to the good parts. So stick around. We're not done yet. So hang out and have a little more coffee, and we'll get you back to your day. We enjoy y'all being here. You hanging out, relaxing, buddy? Do you have enough water? Getting some gas. We're going to get the car washed, and we'll be done before you gets too hot out here, buddy. I got to thinking when we were in the car wash, y'all take your dogs through the car wash? That's the one thing about Nugget, is he is so laid back that he'll do just about anything. He doesn't get too excited about doing nothing. Y'all saw this morning, I have to get him out of bed each and every day like that. He never just gets up on his own. 9 times out of 10, I got to pick him up, lift him out of the bed, then he starts getting moving. But let me know in the comments if y'all take your dogs through the car wash, or if they freak out. He's actually, normally he gets up and he watches, but he's snoozing back there now. He don't mind it a bit. The noises don't bother him, things like that. Even the fireworks last night, he's actually really good with it. I'd like to know what the other dogs are. Are those of y'all that are golden retriever owners? Because Jasper's my first one. Like, we get into the conversation here shortly. He's my first golden retriever, and I've been around several throughout my life, and none of them are as laid back as Jasper is. But I want to know that those of y'all that have golden retrievers, how laid back they are, because he's the most laid. I think I got really, really lucky with him, with how laid back he is, and he just goes with the flow. But when we get back to the house, I'm gonna pull up a chair and we're gonna dig in of how he came into my life, and the changes that have taken place just because of him. I think y'all can see that he's a special guy. He's really special to me. He definitely is. I don't have my mic, so it's probably noisy here. I'll catch you at the house. All right, buddy. Did you have a good nap? Did you have a good nap? We got our microphone working. Had to get that thing dialed in. Oh, you got one of your squirrels back here. There's a sneak peek, y'all, of our newest toy. It's a chew coming out. That's called the Backyard Bandit. That one should be out. So probably we just finished up everything this weekend. Probably about a month from now. Probably have that on the market. Nugget's been testing it for probably almost 3 months before we're deciding to go with the shape, the nylon formula. He loves to chew stuff, and that's why I tell y'all each and every video, everything that we sell, he actually uses it. So it's pretty cool, and that's going to lead us into him doing a little clucking in the backyard, and then I'm going to take a seat by the fire pit, and this next section is going to be for you, Gary. Like I say, I apologize. I don't forget much, but it's actually a long story. If y'all want to stop here, I understand, but we're going to get into Nugget, and it's actually a good story. Like I say, it's going to start out a little sad. I'm going to talk about my other pup and the unfortunate of the events that went through with that, and but we're going to get into that probably in the next 5 minutes. I'm going to get him his mini groom, and we're going to do a little clucking, brush him out, and then I'm going to sit with y'all and talk for a little bit about how this handsome dude came into my life and became Jasper Golden Nugget. And we'll even get into how he got his name and everything like that. So stick around, and I'll try to get through it in about 10 minutes. But y'all know me, I might get talking about it. It might take a little longer than 10 minutes, so don't hold me to it, okay? So stick around, and we're going to get into the story here real quick. Looks like somebody's ready to cluck, huh? Got y'all brushed up, cleaned up, and you're ready to cluck. It's time. Let's see if we can get you to catch one like you did the other night. You caught him a few times. Can't catch a frisbee, but you could catch the clucker, buddy. All right, let's see, show the world if you could catch this or not like you did the other night, okay? Are you ready? That was my fault. That was my fault. Let's give it another try. Let's give it another try. All right, second attempt. I'm going to throw it shorter, so we're going to see if you can catch it. No, it's too short. All right, let's see if third time's a charm. You ready? You watching? You're looking the wrong way. I think that's what the problem is, buddy. It's not my throws. It might be a little bit of my throws, but okay, I'm going to get it out there, and we're going to put it way up there. Be like a center fielder. Ready? Now, almost. All right. 3's enough for me. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, maybe next week we'll get him on film catch. He caught a couple this week. I was so proud of him. I've been out here for almost 4 years with him, trying to get him to catch a frisbee. We had a company send us all these fancy frisbees, and I played baseball, and I can't throw a frisbee if my life depended on it, because I got him over in the trees, over here, over there, and he caught the clucker, so I was real proud of that. Maybe next week we can get him on camera here catching the clucker. All right, it's that time, y'all. Jasper is done clucking, and there's clucker. I'm going to give y'all a little origin story. I promised this a couple weeks ago, and unfortunately my mind got sidetracked, so I'm going to do the best I can to get through it as quick as I can of how Jasper came into my life. And I guess we'll start this off. I had a pup before him. His name was Maverick, and let's see if y'all can see that. That is Mavy right there on my arm. And he was my beloved German Shepherd. And right before his 8th birthday, actually a week before his 8th birthday, he was at the veterinarian on Monday and groomers on Wednesday. And Saturday morning I woke up and he wasn't upstairs, he was downstairs, and came to find him, and stomach was all blowed up, and I knew it was bad. His tongue was, I'm not going to get into details, but I was real close with him, and unfortunately that day I had to put him down. Getting a little upset. I don't want to make this a sad one. Excuse me. Anyhow, I was completely lost, because every day, just like y'all see us with Nugget, was very, very similar to the mornings that I had with him. We would go for our hikes, and he actually went to the dog park, though, so I met a lot of good people over the dog park. Let's just say he could handle himself at the dog park, but for the most part, I was lost. It was the first time in my life that I was without a dog, and it broke my heart like nothing else. I mean, just recently lost my dad. I lost my mom, when I was younger. All four of my grandparents, and call me crazy, but losing a pet is just as bad or worse. And some of y'all blow the comments up saying, oh yeah, human life. And I agree with y'all, but there's something different about the animal, whether it's a cat, a dog, a rabbit, whatever y'all are interested in. You develop this bond. And I think especially with dogs, and I'm sorry, cat people. My mama used to have cats. I love them. I love all animals. But the bond that you form with your dog is like nothing else. And I was lost. I mean, I'm being completely honest with y'all. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. My mornings were just null and void. It's like I got up in the morning. I would go for the same walk that we would normally do and walk at the same park, but it was just different without him. Totally different. I didn't go to the dog park. I didn't see all our friends over there, and just having something to take care of, and the responsibility of something that relies on you like a dog does, it was missing. So I said, this is the first time in my life, 40 some years, that I was without a dog. I've got to get another one. I didn't want to wait. I didn't want to heal. I needed another dog. I needed that to take care of. And because all my dogs previous to Nugget overlapped, and with Maverick just fixing to turn 8, I thought I had some time to, get another pup and let him help me raise that pup, and I didn't have that with Jasper. So I started thinking. I had German Shepherds pretty much all my life. From the time I was a kid, my grandfather had them, my parents had them. We've had a lot of just beautiful, wonderful German Shepherds, smart dogs. I love the breed. And then when I got out of my own, I actually ended up getting 2 Labrador Retrievers, and they're here too. Their paw prints are there. That's Wally and Dalton's actual paw prints. So if y'all can tell, I love my dogs. But Wally and Dalton were the first ones I got when I got out of my own. All the rest of them were family dogs. Not that I wasn't close with them, but it's different when you get your own pups. But Wally and Dalton were family dogs, and then I got Maverick in the mix there. Actually, a girl at work had given me Maverick, and we had a bond. But anyhow, after he passed away, I said I needed a dog, and I started thinking, like, what kind of dog do I want? I knew right out of the gate I didn't want a German Shepherd because it's going to remind me of him too much. And I said, I want a different. I don't want Labs again. Not that I didn't like Labs, but it would remind me of Wally and Dalton. So I sat down and I said, these are the type of breed I want. It needs to be, check these boxes, somewhat athletic, but not border collie athletic. And I was really leaning on an Australian Labradoodle, or a golden doodle. And the more I thought about it, I was like, everybody's getting these dogs, and nothing against the doodle community. I don't think I'm a doodle kind of guy. But anyhow, so I started doing some thinking, and one of my favorite breeds is the Newfoundland, or however you pronounce that. Um, I always love them. They're these big, huge, gentle giants, but I think it's too warm here for Newfoundland here in North Georgia. Um, so I started thinking about previous experience with dogs, and a friend of my daddy's growing up, Benny, if you're watching, hopefully you are, buddy. He had two golden retrievers, Mick and Molly. I remember when I was a kid that, God, they were just these beautiful, majestic animals. And that kind of led me to the golden retriever. So I started reaching out. I actually went to one of these pet places first, and they had a golden there, and it was a female. Nothing against female dogs, but I like the goofiness and the playfulness of boys. Females are too serious. They're serious in real life too, but yeah, they're just too serious. So I wanted a boy dog, and the pet place wasn't going to work out, and so I started reaching out to some breeders, and lo and behold, there was one here in town that just had a litter a few weeks prior, had a bunch of girls and two boys. So I'd scheduled a time that I was going to go out and meet with these people and check on the dogs, and they were all just pretty as can be, just beautiful animals. And she had two boys, and we got to talking, and I've never, I've had full breed dogs. My labs were, the German Shepherds were, but this was a whole different thing with how they were presenting these animals with championship bloodline, and the way the dog's gonna look, and all that. And then I was emotional at the time, and so we got to talking about price, and let's just say my jaw was on the ground. I'm not going to tell you how much he was. Obviously, I got him from this breeder, but there's more leading up to it. My jaw was on the ground. I was like, oh my God, that's expensive. I've never thought about paying that amount for a dog. And, you know, the selling point was it's a full breed, AKC, AK, whatever, all this stuff. I'd never had a dog with papers before. Like I say, Maverick was given to me. So she had told me, she said, if you wait till, I think it was September, she would have one that would be somewhat trained. But the other one could go home in the beginning of, was it June? Oh, I'm getting confused now. It's only been 4 years. The other one could go home earlier, and let's see, his gotcha day was beginning of June. So yeah, I got him in the beginning of June. So I said, I'm going to have to think about it for that kind of money. This is crazy. I mean, I love the dogs, but in my mind, it's like, golly, I mean, that's a lot of money for a dog. And before y'all get me in the comments, you know, I could have went to the Humane Society and things like that. We've gotten dogs from there in the past, and I'm all for that. But under the circumstances and going after exactly what I thought that I wanted, you know, this is how I went about it. Nothing against, I'm not like you got to have a championship bloodline dog, or you got to have papers for him. He's the first one I've ever had papers for. Anyhow, so I said, I'm going to have to go home and think about this, and I did. And the problem is I couldn't sleep that night. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I'm like, I got to get one of these dogs, and then my business mind, so I said, I got to get them cheaper than what they're asking for them. So I literally text the lady. It was probably about 6:15. I said, I'm gonna get that dog, but let me text her and see if she's awake. And I said, please call me when you get up. And she called, and I said, listen, if I pay you in cash, $100 bills, can we save some money on this dog? And she said, nope, the price is the price, whether you want them or not. And I gave in. So that day I drove out there. It was a work day. Drove out there to pick him up, which at the time he was only Jasper. I knew I wanted to call him Jasper, and he was the one that was more favorable. I mean, he was he literally was crawling all over me and hanging out, and I picked him up and he was nibbling on my ear. I said, "This is my pup right here. This is my guy." So that day I took him down. I was able to take him down and bring him home that day. They were ready. They were, I think, 9 or 10 weeks old, and I took him to the office first, and the girls at work just lit up when I brought this little pudgy. He was a chubby little thing with these big paws, and brought him in there, and they were just like smitten over this dog. Every one of them was taking pictures and posting them online, and they had a ball. And so I went home early from work that day, and we got acquainted with the house, and the rest is history. He was a bad puppy. It was, and part of it was my fault, because I brought this dog home. I had a fully trained German Shepherd 3 weeks before, and it was my fault, because I expected the same thing out of this young pup, just figuring out the world. And it had been so long since I had a puppy that, I should have done things a little bit different. Case in point is water bowl. I gave him the water bowl, Maverick's water bowl. I didn't go out and buy all new stuff. I had plenty of stuff here for the animals. I gave him his water bowl, would fill the water bowl up. He would come outside, and we'd be out here in the backyard for an hour, and go inside. He'd pee in the kitchen every damn time. He'd go in the kitchen and pee, and I'm like, oh, this guy is something. He is something. Didn't listen. What I thought wasn't him listening. He's still the same way today. He beats to his own drum, does things his own way, and now I've come accustomed to it. I absolutely love it. But he was a terrible puppy. I mean, he put me to my wit's end of just the things that he would get into. Not bad chewing and things like that. He just didn't listen, didn't care to listen. He came in and took over this house, took over this yard, and he's still the same way today. He's sweet as can be, but he's ornery, absolutely ornery. And it got to the point where, I was just, I wouldn't say I was having trouble or like I failed him in his training. It just got, maybe it was because my dad was just getting sick. I lost my dog. I got to a boiling point where I'm like, I've got to do something with this animal that he needs training, like more than I could give. I've had all these dogs all my life, but I'm failing him with his training. We'd come out here and work on stuff, do this, do that, and the next day I'd have to go over the same things again, and the next thing, and he would go and come out here and hang out, lay in the yard, lay in the sun, lay under the trees, and then go in the house and complete zooming, just going berserk in the kitchen, sliding all around, running all around, mud all over his feet. So I reached out to a friend of mine that I know he had his Belgian Malinois, hopefully I'm saying that right, trained, and the local trainer did a great job. More of a service type family protector like training. I wasn't looking for all that. I was looking for some hardcore puppy training. So I reached out to a trainer, really, really, really good dude. I mean, salt of the earth guy, loves animals. And he told me what the puppy training process is. And the puppy training process would be 2 weeks. I would have to leave him with them. He stayed there, lived there, everything like that. And one of the things is eventually I could go and see him, but he said it's better if you don't. So I was like, now I'm going to be without the dog for 2 weeks. He says, but the good part is you can follow him online. And I said, I could follow him online. He said, yeah, you got to get on social media and follow him. We post on Instagram every day, the progress of the puppy, what they're doing, everything like that. And I said, well, there's one problem with that. I don't have an Instagram. At the time, I didn't believe in social media. I was so anti-social media, it wasn't even funny. So I said, you know what, let's do this. I mean, he was telling me the things I was doing wrong. Giving him too much water out of a large, fully grown dog's bowl. He's got a bladder this big. That's why he's peeing all over the place. My fault. Everything stemmed from there. So I said, okay, let's do this. We scheduled, it was probably 2 weeks out that they were going to start the training. and I dropped him off, and there I was again, lost. I was missing the little guy that was ravaging the whole house. I was just missing him. I was like, man, I miss this little dude. In the meantime, I'd bought a crate and was trying to crate train him, and y'all see the videos. He sleeps in the bed, and he slept in the bed the whole time he's been part of my life. That's his bed. But anyhow, back to the social media stuff. I didn't have an Instagram. I didn't have Facebook or any of that stuff. So I got to create an account. So obviously I'm going to create an account. I'm going to create a dog's account. And at the same time, his AKC paperwork came in. And I was looking for a handle, a name for him online. I didn't plan on doing any of the stuff that we've grown into with posting. But for the 2 weeks that he was away, I would be able to follow him. And at the time, I didn't really have any videos of him. He was a couple months old at the time before he went to boot camp. And I just had pictures. So while he was away, I started his handle. And I needed a name for, at the same time, I needed a name for his AKC paperwork and Instagram. So at the same time, the paperwork came and his bloodline came. And so I got to see his whole family tree of all the dogs that came before him in the family. And his great-grandfather's name was Jasper Golden Nugget. And I said, that's it. I was racking my brain. I was like, that's going to be his whole name for AKC, for Instagram. We've got a name. And that's his puppy story, y'all. I know I got a little long-winded with it, but I'm not going to say I love him more than all my other pups, because they all, at the time in my life, they were all amazing. I've never had a bad dog. I've had my one lab was a little goofy. He didn't like to walk and stuff like that, but they've all been good dogs, and I brought them up. But I say all that to say this is everything transpired with him coming into my life the way that he did, and my other dog passing the way that he did, how I got the name, how I got everything. And it's just cool. It's cool that I'm sitting here on a Sunday morning talking to y'all about my dog, and this feels good to me. I'm happy y'all are here. I hope y'all are enjoying this, and me getting, a little emotional, because it's real. This is my life. I love my dogs, and that's how I got here. I mean, I didn't know anything about posting on Instagram, and I went from like, hey, people actually really are liking him. The reels are cool. I'm going to do a reel. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Our first video, I think he was eating yogurt at the time, with some stupid music in the background, and it's just grown from there to the millions and millions and millions of views that we've gotten online. Not per se this channel, but I started to think like, hey, people actually like him. What can I do with this? What can I do to motivate people through Jasper of walking and grooming and all that stuff? And, look, 4 years later, I launched a company all based on his life. And to me, that's pretty cool. And I get really pumped up and hyped up about where we've gotten to in 4 years. And, we're just getting started with this. Who knows where it's going to lead? But from the bottom of my heart, I enjoy talking to y'all with this channel as much as anything. And I've enjoyed making the long form more than any short form content we've ever made. We've had a lot of viral videos with a guy that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And those are cool. It feels good. But coming out here on a Sunday morning and talking to y'all and getting stuff off my chest, this is like a therapy session for me. And I hope y'all are enjoying this. I really, truthfully do. And we appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully you keep tuning in. But I enjoy it. This is like, this is like counseling for me, or like I say, a therapy session. I don't have to pay a doctor. I can talk to y'all and share, the highs and lows of my life and business and the things that I've been through with Jasper. it's been a fun ride for 4 years with him, and I love him to death. If y'all could tell, he's spoiled, but I absolutely love him. He's changed me, and he's taught me to slow down, take it all in, relax a little more. He's just been great for me. With all that said, I hope y'all are having an amazing weekend. Thank y'all for being here with us, and I'm going to go find him so we can close this thing out, and hopefully y'all stuck around. Gary, hopefully you're still here, buddy, because this whole video, I got up this morning thinking like I let Gary down, and I felt bad about it. I actually did, because I knew I said that I was going to talk about his gotcha day and how he came about. But hopefully that you stuck around to the end of this one, because this whole video had you in the back of my mind. Gary, y'all, he is from Virginia. I hope I got that right, Gary. He's got a golden retriever named Harper, and he found her abandoned as a puppy. I don't know the whole story. Hopefully I'm getting it right. Found Harper. He was out checking his deer cameras one day, and he found her, and he still got her. So y'all, when y'all leave comments, that is me responding back. I don't have a big team. I don't have editors. It's Jasper and I through this whole project. So when y'all comment, that's me talking back to y'all, and I appreciate that. All those comments matter. All the hearts and likes and all that stuff, they matter. I feel it. We've had some good conversations. We got friends from around the world that are starting to find us on YouTube, and I love sharing with the long form. I get to come on here and talk a little bit. And the short form stuff, it's a 10 to 15 second video where I don't get to do this, and that's basically with this channel. We're going to talk business. Last week my niece was here. We had family time. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that, and just to kind of open up I felt like a cage animal for 4 years, and now I get to talk to y'all, and I love y'all being here with us. So let me go find him so we can close this out. And I know I got a little long-winded, but hopefully y'all enjoyed this. All right, y'all. We're going to end this one here. We are so happy that y'all came along with us today. We enjoy hanging out. I enjoy telling the stories. Hopefully wasn't too boring of a story for you of how he came into my life. But hope y'all are having a great Sunday. Hope y'all had a great 4th of July, and you got to spend time with your family and friends and blow some fireworks off and enjoy America turning 250 years old. It's a big deal. It's definitely a big deal. Those of y'all that are in America, those of you guys are around the world, we love y'all too. Maybe you celebrated for us, but 250 years is definitely a big deal for our country, and you know how far it's come, and still got a ways to go though. But we're going to end this one here. Hopefully we see y'all next week, and until then, always remember, the Nugget loves you. Say goodbye, buddy. Say goodbye. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next week.